In 1992, when you made your debut with Balwan, that was again you being coming out as an action hero. How was the feeling at that time?
I was younger, I was a brilliant fighter, and that's why that time you'd see a lot of energy and less performance क्योंकि हिंदी भी ठीक नहीं थी तो dialogues बोल दिया तो बोल दिया सोचे बिना बोल दिया अब you step back, you understand your character, you speak according to the situation. I react to your action.
Rahul Dev is part of this show, and whenever I think about the two of y'all, I can only think about Awara, Paagal, Deewana. What memories do you have with this film?
I've worked with Rahul before. I love Rahul. He's a very, very personal, very close friend of mine. And I've loved him in this show. I think he's outstanding as Huda. And nobody could have played this Haryanvi character.
And the Haryanvi accent has just come out so beautifully.
He's outstanding.
How do you see yourself when you watch your films? What's the audience in you like?
Critical.
Do you criticize yourself?
Very, very critical. But I really liked myself in Hunter and in Dharavi. I believed that I had understood the character. I realized that I love my work like I did when I began.
Dhadkan gave you your Filmfare Award, but in a negative role.
I never did agree towards the fact that I got negative for Dhadkan. क्योंकि जब एक आदमी इतना honest है अपने प्यार के लिए, तो negative कैसे हो सकता है? Hi, this is Suniel Shetty and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.
In 1992, when you made your debut with Balwan, that was again you being coming out as an action hero. How was the feeling at that time? Was movies part of your plan?
No, movies were never a part of my plan, and that's why the excitement was lot more. Confidence was a lot more. I was younger, I was a brilliant fighter, and that's why that time you'd see a lot of energy and less performance क्योंकि हिंदी भी ठीक नहीं थी तो dialogues बोल दिया तो बोल दिया सोचे बिना बोल दिया अब you step back, you understand your character, you speak according to the situation. I react to your action, and if I act, then I check your reaction and react to that. So somewhere down the line, far mature as an actor, far mature as an individual, or you could say as an overall as a personality.
Rahul Dev is part of this show, and whenever I think about the two of y'all, I can only think about Awara, Paagal, Deewana. What memories do you have with this film?
Oh, huge. Love the character. Yedana and the whacked out character that he is. Love it. But I've worked with Rahul before. I love Rahul. He's a very, very personal, very close friend of mine. And I've loved him in this show. I think he's outstanding as Huda. And nobody could have played this Haryanvi character.
And the Haryanvi accent has just come out so beautifully.
He's outstanding. And the good human being is showing, which means the good actor is showing. And I'm so happy for him that everybody is appreciating him, Karan, Barkha, Esha, and so when everybody gets appreciated, the directors, the music, the cinematographer, everybody is talking about different things. Someday someone comes and talks about something completely a different aspect of the show, which is very satisfying for an actor because eventually it's always a team effort. And when the team effort shows, you show. And when you show, you're at your happiest, so it just works.
I'd like to also ask you that, in the 90s, there were a lot of films which you were leading. And then in the 2000s, there were a lot of films that had multi-starrers. Was this a conscious effort that you took, a conscious decision that you took?
No, never. I let it flow. And even today, 2020s and beyond, 22, 23, 24, will be a lot more about multi-star cast films. Because the Marvel universe has come together to bring audiences back to the theatre. So when we are talking about wanting to bring audience back to the theatre, you have to give them more than they are paying for. So if they're willing to pay 500 for a movie, then you need to give them 5,000 worth of content, and that's what we are heading towards. And that's why you'd see films not really working at the box office because they want more. Because money has a lot of value today, and so we'll see that. And at this stage of my career, for me, it is all about a good role, a strong character. It doesn't matter, even if it's a character, it's a 10-day appearance. I will compromise on money, but I will not compromise on the character. So give me a great character and I'm willing to do it. I have no qualms about playing hero, playing, playing a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old. I want to play my age. I want to enjoy this period of my life without stress.
How do you see yourself when you watch your films? What's the audience in you like? Do you
Critical.
criticize yourself?
Very, very critical. But I really liked myself in Hunter and in Dharavi. I believed that I had understood the character.
Yeah.
I realized that I love my work like I did when I began. And when you love your work like you would your own child, you can't go wrong. So one thing is very clear, that I'm going to love what I'm doing. I'm going to be passionate about what I'm doing. Whatever I do, the end result might be bad, but I'm going to go out there and promote it like it has always been my own. So now it's going to be about 100% passion and love for what I'm doing and nothing else.
When I think about again a lot of other films, Dhadkan gave you your Filmfare Award, but in a negative role. My God. How was it working on a film which has such amazing dialogues, just like you mentioned about Hunter?
Unbelievable, because I think that's where I learned to act, from the heart. And hats off to Dharmesh Darshan for that, and my co-artists for also giving back in such a beautiful way. The music, the cinematography, everything about that film was so simple, and that's why it was so beautiful. But one thing I never did agree to was the fact that I got negative for Dhadkan. I always believed that was a made, ठीक है यार, अवार्ड सब अप्रिशिएट कर रहे तो कुछ ना कुछ दे दो, क्योंकि जब एक आदमी इतना ऑनेस्ट है अपने प्यार के लिए तो नेगेटिव कैसे हो सकता है. मैंने तो सब कुछ छोड़ के आई वाज विलिंग टू गिव माय लाइफ फॉर द गर्ल. सो वुड यू कंसिडर द मैन द नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट ऑफ योर लाइफ और द पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट ऑफ योर लाइफ?
I don't know. I don't think Anjali's father thinks that way.
या दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग ना, पैसे वालों के पास दिमाग नहीं होता. तो इसीलिए, बिकॉज अगर माँ की सुनती है ना, तो माँ हमेशा कहती है कि बेटा लव द मैन इन योर लाइफ वुड प्रोबब्ली लव यू मोर देन यू वुड एवर लव हिम. सो देन देव वाज द राइट गाय. So for me, I took that award, but I always look at it as a positive one.
Wow, in so many years, Dev is still standing to his character.
Absolutely.
Strong, I must say.
True.
Tell us about Hera Pheri. How can we not talk about Hera Pheri also, Anna? One film. क्या when you all were shooting the film, क्या तभी भी आप लोग हंस रहे थे जितना हम देखते हुए हंस रहे थे?
100%. 100%.
Or did you all like doubt it?
No, we never doubted. We doubted ourselves whether we'd be able to perform to that level, because it was comedy, and two action heroes, trying to do comedy might not work, but straight faced.
Yeah.
Akshay was a lot situational. I was very straight faced, so it worked. And then you have an actor of the caliber of Paresh ji. It's another level. You have Om ji, the late Om ji.
Yes.
I mean, how can you have a better character artist than him? So we had brilliant artists with us, and when all that starts working, everything about a film starts working. So Hera Pheri is iconic. I believe Hera Pheri 1 was one of the finest films. Hera Pheri 2 worked because of the power of Hera
Nostalgia.
Pheri 1.
Yeah.
And today, if we want to do Hera Pheri 4, then it better be as good as Hera Pheri 1. Otherwise, it will not be appreciated. Otherwise, you'll be hammering your franchise. So that emotion is very, very important. Being real is very, very important. And each one delivering their bit is important, and not fighting for each other's space.
Do you have a favorite scene? We
in
all
Hera
have
Pheri,
favorite scenes.
I think that Utha Le Re Baba is one of the most beautiful scenes, because it's so damn innocent. How can you be so innocent? Or even, as a matter of fact, everything about Paresh ji and Om ji in that film is out of this
This
world.
is a taxi scene, where they all sikud jao. That is also too funny.
Yeah.
So there's action, there's romantic, there's comedy. What inspires you? What inspires you right now to a script, to doing a character?
I think what more than inspires me, what probably is my liking is an honesty in a script and logic. I think logically, अगर सही हो ना तो गलती भी करेंगे तो ठीक हो जाएगा. And that's exactly what we are looking for. I don't want it outlandish. I don't want it. I don't want something that I personally believe I don't like and I won't it won't work. So I'd say, you know what, avoid it, then get into a mess. It might be an outstanding film, but what you believe is what I believe in is what attracts me to a
I
film.
think it's also music that attracts you in your films. Just
Yeah.
like in Hunter, you know, the way they've used the music in the
Oh,
action sequences.
outstanding.
Rang bar se istemal kiya gaya hai.
Yeah,
What are your
yeah.
thoughts about it?
Outstanding. And that was one of my ideas. So, and I keep saying that was one of my ideas because I said, yeah, you're working with Sare Gama. I mean, the bap of all music companies,
Correct.
the father of it all, with the best music there. And we started bullying them for the music, and they were willing to say it, work on it, and then when we put it back into the action, even a scene where you're walking gets enhanced to another level altogether. And that is what background and effects is all about.
Was it playing in the background when you were shooting? Just to give you the.
No, but a lot of times we were already prepared with what we wanted, so we used to listen to it before we went into the
Yeah.
scene, like the climax and stuff like that. So very exciting.
Lovely.
Hi, this is Suniel Shetty, and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.